That was weird. So if the opening's different, you'll have to thank Team Rocket for that. They wanted me to do a Pokemon review of a Pokemon that's on Team Rocket's team. Um, I said coincidentally I was doing Arbok next, but they still threatened me and said if I don't do the review, then they'll suspend my account. So I didn't want that to happen. Uh, I just went on with the review, but they didn't have to take my opening away and replace it with whatever that was. Yeah, they said it was Pokedex TR, meaning Pokedex Team Rocket. But anyway, it's time to get to the review. The review of Ekans family, Ekans and Arbok. The first pure poison type Pokemon that we're reviewing. It's a Generation 1 Pokemon. It's common, but as far as appearance, it's not as common as most of the Pokemon I've said that are common. Mainly because of the fact that if you already look in the games to obtain area, you notice that an only red version is put up in Generation 1. That's because Ekans is only findable in Pokemon Red. In Pokemon Gold, Ekans is also obtainable as a prize. You can win Ekans as a prize in the Goldenrod's game corner once you've gained enough points. It's available in Silver and Crystal. It's only available in Fire Red in Generation 3. And in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, if you have a DS with a dual socket, then you can put Fire Red in the Game Boy Advance area of the DS, and a swarm of Ekans will appear in certain areas. Also, the same situation for Heart Gold, and the same situation for Soul Silver as far as Generation 2 is concerned. So, yeah, also its abilities include Intimidate and Shed Skin. Intimidate, making it so that the opponent, once it's called out, the first Pokemon that it sees in battle will have its physical attack power reduced by half. And Shed Skin, making it so that Ekans or Arbok will eventually just cure their own status problems, like burn, poison, frozen, all of those, and be perfectly fine. Which is a really good uh, ability. So yeah, let's get straight into this. As far as Arbok goes, I've never seen Arbok. Well, not never. I've rarely seen Arbok online. Barely at all. And it's mostly undermined as just a Pokemon that you fight off against Team Rocket with, and when you fight Team Rocket, it's just one of the Pokemon that they have. However, Ekans and Arbok, as far as stat-wise, one thing I really like is that Arbok stats are probably the most balanced of all the Pokemon I've reviewed thus far. Look, if you pay attention, Arbok's stats, not one stat is below 60. Now, this doesn't... not one stat Arbok hits the 90 mark, but this also means that no stat that Arbok has hit a point to where it is like super low, which means Arbok is a very versatile Pokemon. Not one thing is very high. This means that Arbok has much potential, which is something I really like. Arbok has a lot of potential as far as battle-wise, and we're here to explain this now. Arbok not only has good stats, but its highest stats are physical attack and speed. Now, one thing I would say as far as Arbok, this is probably one of the few times I recommend not to EV train it in what stat is already the highest. I say EV train Arbok in defense. That's just my choice though. It's already pretty okay in special defense, and speed is something you probably wouldn't need to worry about if you EV train Arbok in defense and physical attack, making Arbok a very offensive and defensive Pokemon at the same time. The reason of such is because Arbok, recommended moves for Arbok, I'd have to say. Now, what we're going to do is cut Arbok in twos. What I mean by that is that first, I'm going to do recommended moves for offensive Arbok. If you want an Arbok offensively, I would have an Arbok with intimidate, with the ability to intimidate or shed skin, it doesn't matter. And then probably teaching some good physical moves like Poison Fang for the same type attack bonus, Toxic to wear them down a few, and then probably Glare to make things a little easier to damage them. I would also teach them some good physical attack power moves like Takedown and so much. Now, a defensive Arbok is something I would love much more like, because defensively, Arbok can be a very good Pokemon. Give Arbok an attack that it can, like, just attack while it's fighting, like Poison Fang. And then give Arbok moves like Swallow and Stockpile. Because if you noticed in Arbok's moveset, Arbok can learn Swallow and Stockpile, however, it can't learn Spit Up. The plan would be to raise Arbok defensively using Stockpile so it can hold the opponent off, and then use Swallow to heal Arbok, and then have it have Intimidate so it can lower the physical attack power of the opponent. This serves very handy, making Arbok a very defensive Pokemon, holding its own against much tougher Pokemon. Also, a recommended move for Arbok would have to be Ice Fang if you can teach it to him for the Dragon types, and to fight off the Ghost and Dark type Pokemon. No, not Dark types. Ghost and Psychic type Pokemon, excuse me. I say teach Arbok Crunch. That would be a very good move to teach Arbok to handle those types of Pokemon. Arbok is a very good Pokemon and is very underestimated against. And I'm glad I got to do this review of Arbok, because Arbok is a very reasonable Pokemon if you can aim on training it. Just like I said with Fearow, it doesn't just have to be a Pokemon you see on your journey that you just knock out. Arbok is a very versatile, strong Pokemon that can hold its own in battle. Also, fun little fact about Ekans and Arbok. Ekans' name backwards is spelled snake, and Arbok's name backwards is cobra, which is something a little fun. Yeah, so I say go for the defensive and offensive with Arbok, and teach it Glare so lower the opponent's speed so it can hold its own. Anyway, that's the review of Arbok. PokedexT is out. Thanks for watching, everybody.